Welcome, everybody, to a brand new, fresh, fancy NDT Gaming. Guys, this is the inaugural episode, very first, very bright, very shiny episode of NDT Gaming, all things gaming, with your hosts, Corey, aka TheeHolyMan. And over beside me, we got
Jared, aka FireXit.
So, guys, this is where all the magic started. All this content creation, all of this started right here on Twitch as TheeHolyMan and FireXit Gaming. So this is what got us into this world, and we're very big video game nerds. We love gaming. I've been gaming since I'm about 5 years old. How about you, Jared? How long you been gaming?
Yeah, I'd probably say about the same. We're like around 7 years old or so.
Yeah. So I mean, we've been talking about this for a while, trying to get into it and start our my bitches start our own gaming channel, our own gaming episodes, because it's something we're passionate about. And I know we don't really want to throw it in with a variety show. I mean, there's a lot of stuff we can talk about, but it'll flood that show. And it's kind of like the wrestling stuff. We don't want to flood the regular show with all this nonsense. So we wanted to create something that's specifically for all of you nerds who are like us, who enjoy video games and want to discuss it with us. So, Jared, how you doing, my man?
I'm doing great. Yeah. It's the weekend. It's hot as shit outside.
Yeah. Oh my God. Like I was when I talked to you the other day about starting this this week, this Friday night, I was all excited. I'm like, we got to do it. We got to just do it. We got to pull the trigger. We got to start. And afterwards, after that discussion, I was like, I might have made a mistake because it's hot as balls out and I don't have an air conditioner in this studio. And I had to go grab a fan after work today to try to make it a little bit cooler in here. So I guess what we'll start out with is, I was talking to you before about how I was rewatching an episode of what I called Holy's Confessionals from my Twitch channel, TheeHolyMan, back when I was gaming regularly.
Oh, I remember.
I decided to start something up called Holy's Confessionals, where I was interviewing gamers and streamers, and we had discussions about a whole plethora of topics, man. And the very first guest I had on that show was this man sitting next to me, FireXit.
Oh God, I went back and watched it.
Yeah, dude, me too. I was like, and it's funny because I talked to Alex and I'm like, man, I was like, even just watching this, you can see how different and like how much I've progressed, like how much differently I speak. It's like worlds apart. It really is. But yeah, man, I guess what we can do is, since a lot of people don't know the whole story, since that was back then, it was on a different channel and all of our current people don't know anything about this, we could talk about how we met and then how everything progressed from there. Like I was already a Twitch streamer when we met. I was trying to utilize TikTok to get my gaming content out there. And then I happened to meet you by way of a video that you had posted about how it was a video about you donating to a streamer friend, someone that you followed and you thought highly of. And I thought it was a very cool thing. So I commented on it. I was like, this is awesome. I love this. Because when I saw it, I was like, that's my kind of people right there. That kind of supportive person. And it just kind of grew from there. It went from there.
Yeah, and then I saw your TikTok, and then I got into your Discord there and started talking to you. And I'm sure you got flooded with all those. I'm a graphics designer. I could do this for you if you want to grow your channel. But I was like, legitimately, okay, like, hey, I could do something for you. And we started doing it, and I started doing it for you. And then people were asking you where you got all your stuff from. And yeah, I mean, I was just planning on streaming Apex and stuff like you, because I was watching. It was the main thing that I was watching on Twitch was Apex. And that's how I came across your page. I was like, okay, so he's an Apex streamer.
So, yeah, let me tell you, man, too. First off, before I get too far into it, guys, we do have a special guest with us tonight. We will bring him on shortly. He also happens to be a fantastic sponsor of the show, very good person. So in just a little bit, we're going to bring him on, but I want to get through this first. But yeah, I kind of accidentally fell into being an Apex streamer back then. That's not how I started my Twitch streaming experience. First, I got kind of coerced into trying out Twitch. I've always been a gamer, never really thought about, you know, streaming to Twitch and trying to attract a crowd. I always thought it was weird. I'm like, man, people don't really watch other people play video games, do they? And they don't really, you know, pay people to play video games, do they? And then I started to get involved with it, and I started watching people. And I'm like, holy shit, people really do this. Okay, that's neat. So I started out by playing story-driven games like The Witcher 3. Like, it was one of the first games I played on there. Or Horizon Zero Dawn was another one I played on there. Dying Light, stuff with a good story that was fun, had cool content. You could do a lot with it. And then I got my wife a PlayStation 4. She had in our bedroom. I had mine over here in my, what I call now my studio. It was a gaming room. And we started playing Apex together online, and people just fell in love with that. And that became our thing. That's how I grew my channel, playing Apex with her, having a good time, trying to say anything I could to get her to blush. And it just, it worked. It clicked, and it was a lot of fun, man. You know, I hate Apex now because I suck at it after not playing for a while. But yeah, you know,
I left a few of those viewer rewards on there, you know, the whisper and the sing, you know, just to
the whisper
drive Alex crazy.
Bro, the whispers is what got Alex all fired up. She hated the ASMR stuff. She really, really hates it. Said it tickles her ears, and she really doesn't like it. So we got to do it. But yeah. Who knows? Maybe eventually we'll do the gaming channel strictly here on Twitch, but you know, we'll see.
Yeah,
I kind of like having it everywhere anyway. But yeah, I don't know, man. That was accidental. I liked it enough though. So the one thing I told you before we started, I was like, I have something to talk about, but I'll wait till we're live. And it's in regards to her and I playing together. As a lot of our variety show fans know, we had a baby recently, just over a year ago now. And I was thinking about this earlier today when I was driving home because, you know, in preparation for our first gaming show, I was thinking about all things gaming. And I had the thought, you know, at some point I had played Apex with my wife for the last time and I didn't realize it. Not that it can never happen again, but when she had that emergency C-section, that was it. Like I didn't go back to Apex. I didn't go back to streaming on Twitch. I didn't do any of it for almost, it was like a good 7 or 8 months.
Yeah.
And when she finally got home, we were in the NICU for 52 days. When she finally got home, I felt bad. So I pulled my PS5 out of my gaming room, my studio, and put it downstairs for her to use. And that's how I would play with her, was my PS5, her PS4. And now we can't do that.
I was gonna say, and it's been there ever since.
Yeah, it's been weird, man. Yo, Nick, what's going on, my dude? But yeah, it was weird. It was such a weird thought to have, and it hit me as awkward as it might sound, man. It hit me hard on the drive home. I was like, man, like that was our thing. That was our thing. That's how we hung out together at that point in time, because the two other kids were older.
Yeah,
my son's now 13, my daughter's 10, and they could manage themselves for an hour or two while we did that. That was us time. And at some point before that baby came, that was the last time we ever played together, and we didn't even know it because we didn't prepare. It was all an emergency. Didn't prepare.
I haven't seen the sun in years.
So yeah, that's my little sad story for tonight.
Yeah, I know we need to get back in. There was a point for me. I don't know what it was. I just stopped. Like I still play video games. I just stopped streaming. Like I don't know what it was. I don't know if it's the fake culture that Twitch has with people that just come onto your page, just, you know, to try and get you to go to theirs. And I never did the follow for follow. And it's just, I've met some good people, some great people.
Yeah.
And there's some I still talk to, but man, it's one of those, if you're not engaging with them, they're not engaging with you. And it's just a fake fake culture that Twitch has got. So
that's my biggest gripe with the streaming world when it comes to gaming and streaming. And we can talk about this at length on a future episode if we really want to pin it down and focus on it. But
yeah, it must be nice.
Yeah. It was crazy to me because if you were not frequenting other people's streams, they weren't coming to yours. And I hated that. I thought that was so fake. Like, my goal was to create content that was good enough in its own right to draw people to it and not have to rely on people being like, well, I mean, I didn't see you in my stream the other day, so I'm not going to yours. Like, it's a weird culture. It's a weird way to do it. And if you're spending time doing this and you're going to these other streams and you're spending a little bit of money on them and then they spend a little bit of money on you, is it real? To me, you're absolutely right. All that shit is fake. I think there are too many fake personalities on Twitch. I think so many people just want to say the right things to try to kind of like fall in line and pull the right people in. And it's so awkward to me. It's very difficult to gain a good following, because when you're on Twitch and you're streaming and you're wanting to grow, you need a good blend. You need a good mix of streamers and watchers. Like, you need those watchers. Even the people that just come in and they're just hanging out and lurking and watching and enjoying the content and not interacting. Now we're going to get into a whole world of things. So before we get into all of that, maybe we'll pin that and we'll talk about that on another episode. I think now we'll bring on our guest, because this guy here, Mike from Dragon's Den Gaming, guys, you've seen the ads that we've played for him before. A wonderful sponsor, a good dude. He has a huge knowledge, big, like, encyclopedic knowledge of the gaming world, between news and individual games themselves. So we'll bring him on. This guy's name is Mike. Let's meet the man, the myth, the legend, the owner of Dragon's Den Games and Hobbies. What's going on, man?
Corey, thank you so much for having me on. Jared, a pleasure to meet you finally.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Jared is a legend in his own right. He is our overlord, as you well know. He did
an amazing job on the logo.
You forgot one word or two words. National treasure.
Oh, national. Yeah, I was gonna say. Oh, I'm sorry. Did you see me just fall in my chair right now? Did you see that? I need to get a new chair, so I need to save some money, get a new chair, because as you can see, the longer I sit, the shorter I'm going to get. Keep tabs during the episode, guys. See how many stripes from our Old Glory here behind me are above my head. Right now, we're at 1. I was above it just a few seconds ago, but
that's okay. The third shelf keeps falling down. I'm waiting to get hit in the head with that.
Does it really? Oh, that's beautiful, man. That's beautiful. So I guess before we get into any particular gaming stuff, Mike, why don't you tell everybody what made you, because I've known you for a while, whether you know it or not, whether you believe it or not. Like, I've known you because my family has frequented our local GameStop for a long time. You used to be an employee there.
Did I?
What is it that struck you that made you say, I'm taking a chance, I'm taking a risk, I'm going to go out on my own, I'm going to start my own gaming shop? What was the idea behind that? What was the thought process? And what was the vision with it?
It's the day they handed me an award. And I was number 2 in the company at customer excellence, number 1 at like selling a bunch of stuff. They handed me this award. And the guy handing it to me pulls me and goes, just remember, you are replaceable. The moment I got that, I was like, okay. I looked around at everything and I'm like, these entire customer base comes in to see us. It's not just because it's GameStop selling video games. Walmart's up the road. They sell video games. Yeah. There's a Target in Dixon City. They sell it. Every big box sells it. They were coming in here to see us. And I said, okay, fine. I can do this. So I scrounged whatever pennies I had together and opened a game store. Here we are, 6 years later.
They fucking... Sorry, guys. We don't have our Rated R logo up tonight. We got to get that in here at some point. Oops. But we are Rated R. They fucking said that to you? They said, after giving you an award for being one of the top people in the company, you are replaceable. Like, that's their play. Here we go again.
I still have the award. I still have the award saved.
You are replaceable. Guys, let that be known. You don't tell an employee who just won an award for great service that they are replaceable. That is not a good way to run your business. Holy shit, really? I can't believe that. That's fucking unbelievable.
It's I don't know. I can. There's some stupid and sick people out there. So
Well, I think that's the difference between a big box store and a small business, like a small mom and pop store. So like when people
100%.
talk about, you know, these small business Saturdays and the small business days that we have in our little communities, when they talk about shop local, this is why, man, because these local shops actually care about the community. As you can well see, Mike and his company here, they're supporting our show. They're sponsoring us, and they care about the people in the community that they're serving. So, like, what the? That's how it should be. Holy shit.
Doesn't that Jeter ball? If we figure out that's good, we're doing a Ronald McDonald thing for that, aren't we?
Absolutely. So, what he's talking about, guys, is he has a baseball that he believes is signed by Derek Jeter. So we're going to get it authenticated. If it is indeed signed by Derek Jeter, he has offered to auction this off or raffle it off, whatever we decide to do with it. And all of the proceeds that we make from this are going to go towards the Ronald McDonald House. As many of you guys know, the Ronald McDonald House, aka the Ronnie House, is something that's near and dear to my heart. It helped me and my wife tremendously last year when our daughter was born. I'm going to get emotional about it again. Don't want to do that. But if we didn't have that, we would not have been able to do what we did. My wife wouldn't have been able to stay down with the baby. We would have been traveling 2 hours both ways to get to her. So, I mean, that's a fantastic charity. So to be able to do that is wonderful.
for sure, it's definitely a good.
Absolutely, it was one of our first picks.
Yeah.
Yeah, he gave me a list of 3 charities, Jared, and that was on the list. I told him, I was like, dude, that one's near and dear to my heart. He's like, that's it then. Fucking beautiful. So if we can do this a couple times a year, I'm thrilled. I'm thrilled to be able to raise money for charity. And I've been wanting to do something like that for a while. I just didn't know how to go about it.
Yeah.
So this is a nice way to do it, I think.
Glad somebody did, because I didn't know what to do with it. I just thought charity would be awesome. Why not give back?
Yeah.
I don't even like the Yankees, so it doesn't hurt me any.
So we could do it that way, or we could, I think you were talking about a sidewalk thing.
We are hoping to do something for sidewalk sales. I mean, hopefully we get to work with Mike here if we're able to even set up inside of his shop during sidewalk sales.
Absolutely can.
We'll get our name out there, get our faces out there. Maybe we can even, promote it then, because that's what, early July, isn't it?
It is.
Okay, perfect. Is it the 6th? That's all I need to know. Is it the 6th? That's 4th of July weekend, or is it after that? Because if it's the 6th, I might need someone to cover
18th, 19th, and 20th says the flyer.
Oh, perfect. I'm good then, because I work on the 6th until noon, so we're good. Perfect. I love it. Allie, what's going on? How are you doing tonight?
I was going to say, this is one person that I was discussing with you a while ago about having her on, maybe King, maybe
Absolutely.
Goody. So they are part of this group, TLC, and Goody's actually talked to me about it, and I was like, yeah, man, isn't that another follow for follow thing? And it's like, no, not at all. Like, this group is great. So we might have to talk to the 3 of them and do a little episode on interviewing some Twitch streamers.
Yeah, that'd be cool. It's kind of like, so from the sounds of it, it's kind of like what we used to try to do within the congregation, where we tried to help people who wanted to hit affiliate, push for affiliate, and get people who wanted to get into streaming, get them some experience, help them learn the ropes, and get them going.
I watched it happen. I watched Allie and a few other people organize a raid to Goody stream. Shit was crazy. It was.
Yeah, I love that. So, that's awesome.
Yeah.
It was even like you were saying before about like the Twitch streaming, about how it's like become even like a half toxic place to be anymore, because there's just so many
there's
everything.
Yeah.
It's you can't be on Twitch without having I'm playing COD, watching some 16-year-old kid playing COD and cursing up a storm. That's all it's become.
It's hit or miss, and then they come out with things like saying, "Oh, Twitch, we don't make a profit. We're not a profitable company," and you get a lot of these streamers that go over to Kick, or they leave the platform. But I think they're making money. They make money
Man.
off of subs. They make money off of people. They take a good portion of it. So
there's so much, and that's not just Twitch itself. There's so many people on there that are beyond fake. They just try to say the right things just to try to, I don't know, to try to grow, try to keep falling. It's just insane to me. Like you try to say the right things to earn money. Like people are always like, "Oh, I'm just in this for the fun. I'm just streaming so I can have fun gaming with my friends." Oh, bullshit, man. If you wanted to just game with friends, you would just meet people on there. You wouldn't be streaming yourself. You would just meet people out in the gaming world. You would just worry about that. But everybody, if people were just more honest with themselves, honest with each other, I feel like I'd have it would have left a better taste on my mouth, the whole streaming experience.
Well, kids don't want to be cowboys anymore. Kids want to be streamers. That's what everybody wants to be. Everybody wants to be the next Markiplier. Everybody wants to be the next Try Guys. Everybody wants to be the next whatever out there. That's where it's become. Like even society today. Kids want to, play Xbox and hope to make $1 million off of it. Unfortunately, the ship sailed with that. That's over.
Yeah. That's why I tell my kid always is in his room playing his games and shit. And I told him, man, if you're going to be in your game or in your room for that long playing games, can you at least play a game that you could win a tournament for, make a little bit of money or something?
For real.
Like make it worth it. Like he's a good little gamer. He can hold his own in Call of Duty and Fortnite and all that. But I'm like, man, can you focus on one and, maybe go enter a tournament or something sometime soon? Be dad's retirement plan. Like, holy crap. Ali says there are so many fake people out there, but honestly, I found such an amazing group of people. I finally hit my goal on Twitch as well. That's awesome. What was your goal on Twitch that you hit, Ali? Ali was once a part of. God, I keep falling. Look at this shit. I'm like almost all the way down now. Ali was a part of the congregation as well. The congregation was really good. That was my Discord community. We had a lot of people in there. We had a lot of fun, but it absolutely died once we had our baby last year. Like I stopped checking it. I haven't talked to people. It was just a weird thing. I wanted 1K, but now I have 1,500. Hell yeah, Ali, that's awesome. It's a good player, but selfish on the game. Not a team player. Sorry, kid. You're not a team player. It is what it is.
We're three stripes down, by the way, with your chair.
You like that? Look at that. I need a new chair, man. We're getting one. I got to get one eventually. Alex, you hear that? We got to save money so I can get a chair.
Yeah.
My chair's $30 from Walmart. Trust me.
Was it good? Is it all right?
Amazing.
Maybe I'll do that then. Because this one sucks.
Mine was 200, but
I'm a little hefty.
It's outdated.
I was looking at some of those chairs with like the reinforced steel plate, like a high weight limit and stuff. I'm like, man, they're like $230, $240. Like, holy crap. Like, I don't want a gaming chair. I just want a regular office chair, something that's made for you to sit in for hours at a time. Mila is amazing, so worth it. Yeah, I know. Definitely. All right, so why don't we get into some news and notes and stuff real quick. I know Mike is very excited about a couple of things. I know you have some things on your mind as well.
I got a stinger for this one.
Let's go, baby. All right, back up high. All right, Jared, why don't you lead us into this one? Let's see if you got anything good to talk about, and then we'll roll with some stuff that Mike was talking about pre-show.
Yeah, man, there's a fly around here somewhere. Sorry,
I was going to ask what this was about.
I gave up on him.
I just wanted to go over two trailers and kind of review a little bit. I play a lot of Elden Ring. I play with Jay Mills and Goody's dad. So I wanted to showcase the Shadows of the Erd Tree trailer real quick. So good.
We do not own rights to this. Do not flag us, YouTube.
Blade and champion of the festival. Both your deeds will ever
play
be
this.
praised in song.
Is there no hope for redemption? The answer, sadly, is clear.
The mere sight of your blade sets my heart aflutter. All the more I yearn to crush it in my grasp.
The Earth Tree is my people's enemy. By Marika long betrayed, set aflame.
The fog that vexed my aging faculties has been lifted, and follies better left dothing haunt me once again.
Such as it is, this battle could not be more fitting. For the birth of a new god and the coming of a lord.
That looks badass. The size of that great sword.
Oh yeah, there's plenty of weapons in here that are massive.
They're so creative with the monsters too.
Yeah, From Software, the
Promise me.
developers,
You'll be my consort.
they make really good and hard games.
So
From Software's been killing it.
here's a guilty confession: is I've never played Dark Souls. None of them.
I have not either. So, Bloodborne's another one of their games. Bloodborne's pretty good. All the games they make, they there's strategy to them. Like they don't make easy playthroughs.
So talk to me about Elden Ring a little bit. Is there a defined story for this game?
There is a lot of it's open world, so you can go do this before you do that. But with Elden Ring, they don't tell you where to go with like per se. So like you have these graces you sit at, which is like a place where you can save your game, you can level up, you can do all this stuff. The grace that comes off,
You can die a lot.
yeah, yeah. The light, the shimmer that comes off of the grace kind of goes in a direction, right? Like when it goes up in the sky, it kind of turns. So that kind of tells you the direction you should go next. So without telling you what you should be doing, that's the kind of their way of like giving you a hint on what you should do. And it's kind of up to you to kind of follow a path. But there's so many bosses. There's different endings. All the stuff that's on there, the crafting, like it's a very time consuming game. I've actually have not played it solo. So when I played it with people. And I was told this is where we're going. So like I solo, so I don't have an idea of like figuring things out because I had somebody who's beaten the game probably like 4 or 5 times. Like, hey, this is what we're gonna go do next. Follow me. But it's one of my favorite games that I've been playing, and the DLC I have not had a chance to play it yet. But it's a big deal for a lot of people because Elden Ring, when it came out, it won Game of the Year. And
I saw it everywhere on Twitch, man. That's like all everyone was playing.
yeah,
It's become a gold
like
standard
that.
with gaming.
Yeah,
Has it?
It really has. It's like Dark Souls and Elden Ring really became like this gold standard where it was like, back in we call it the Nintendo hard. Back in our days where it was like, beating Mike Tyson or Battletoads or anything like that.
Yeah.
This is what's taking over as that big game that's like, hey, I beat, I beat Dark Souls last night in hard. There's some kid who beat it on a Rock Band controller, if I'm not mistaken. It's like something ridiculous. It's like absolutely bragging rights with this game. It won Game of the Year when it came out. It absolutely destroyed it in visuals. The music alone is just absolutely like astounding. And what makes it so much better with the new DLC, this is like the most anticipated DLC coming out that like anybody's waiting for right now.
And you won't see it drop in price. Like, I've waited so long, and I always said that I was going to wait until it dropped for me to buy this game. Fortunately, somebody gifted it to me, so I didn't buy it. They also gifted me the DLC. But the game has
like
never
Pokemon
dropped.
game, too.
Yeah. You get games like this that set this bar. You will never see them drop in price.
So this is one of those games where you absolutely get your money's worth out of it.
For sure.
So,
I mean, I've played it so many times.
So on that topic, best bang for your buck, any game you've ever bought. What is the one that you have bought in your past? Doesn't matter what console it was, when it was. What game did you get the best bang for your buck out of?
For me, it's Resident Evil 2, the remaster, and the original. I still go back and play them. I'm still playing the PS1 copy of Resident Evil 2. Like, I bought that game back in, was it 97, 98, or whenever it dropped, and I'm still playing it. For me, that's incredible.
I mean, I'm playing that remaster, the Resident Evil 2 remaster, but I downloaded it on the PS5 from the PlayStation Pass, right? The Plus network.
The Plus,
so, yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm getting my money's worth because I can easily just download another game or play whatever. But I've been playing that pretty religiously lately, and yeah, these remasters, they've done so well.
Resident Evil 2 was always one of my favorites. Like, I had that game back before I'm not a PC gamer at all. I had it on an old compact computer. That was one of the only PC games I ever had, man. And when I got it, it had one of those things where when you get to the police station, you go to the first hallway, there's a loot box in the safe zone, and it had a rocket launcher with infinite ammo and a Gatling gun with infinite ammo. And like, as a kid, I thought that was the coolest shit ever, man. I had so much fun with that game.
Well, think about the Resident Evil series where I'm sorry to interrupt you. Resident Evil is one of those games where I always felt you bought the game, you got the whole game. You're not getting, there's not 300 DLC contents you need to get for it. It's not like Call of Duty now where you buy Call of Duty, you get half of the game, and it's $70, $80 now. You know, you buy Resident Evil 2, it's the whole game.
Like, I feel like these companies, they'll put out a game and they'll intentionally hold back a chapter or hold back like a certain portion of the map where they can create a bunch more story from it. They do this intentionally just to try to get more money out of the consumer. But I'm gonna comment on what my wife said there in chat. Skyrim, to this day, that game, and I know people are like, beating a dead horse. That's the best bang for my buck that I've ever gotten. Like, that game is so replayable to me. That is one of my favorite games ever. Like, Final Fantasy VII is my favorite game ever, strictly for the story, strictly for the storyline. But Skyrim, the playability, even to this day, it came out 11/11/11. I'll never forget the ad for that game because I thought it was the coolest fucking ad I've ever seen. You know, I've always been into dragons and swords and all that shit.
I know, I did the midnight.
Yeah, but like, it's just, how many different consoles has this stretched across? It's on PC. You know, there's all these mods that you can get for it now. And it keeps getting re-released over and over and over again. But there are so many ways to play that game. And if you're the type of person who likes to play Sword and Shield and you want a challenge, go ahead and play Mage. Don't wear any armor. Play Mage, wear a robe, go around, try to use it's just so much fun.
Did you ever get into the online, Elder Scrolls Online?
I got it, tried it, and I was a bit of a snob about it because it was so different from Skyrim.
Yeah.
And Skyrim was my first experience with the Elder Scrolls. I was like, I don't know. So I stopped playing that, and I still want to go back and play Oblivion because I keep hearing that Oblivion's story is so much better than Skyrim's. So eventually here, I'm going to go back and I'm going to play Oblivion. Dan from Wayne County Imaging says Mirror's Edge. That's the best bang for your buck you ever got out of a game?
Hello. Do you want to play a game?
I got Mirror's Edge at one point, and I just never played it. I don't know why. I've never played it. I had it. I don't anymore. But
I'm going to have to look at that.
Mirror's Edge. That was there was a lot of talk about that when it first came out, if I remember correctly.
There was another one that I wanted to showcase because I played the first one. I probably have. I can tell you right now. I probably have over 100 hours on this game. But the second one's coming out next month, so I wanted to showcase the second one. It looks really good. So I have a gameplay, I think, of my game, but let me show you the trailer for this one. It's Frostpunk 2.
Frostpunk.
Oh yeah, this is a building game.
Oh, you showed me this.
Honorable Steward.
Mighty Steward. Do you hear us, Steward?
Do you hear us?
Steward, are you listening? Steward? The great storm wiped the world clean.
Let's take it back.
But how?
The steward will choose our path.
Steward, build us a better home.
A home for
See, with this
everyone.
one, you can do cities. Like the first one, you just build
still lack
buildings and stuff
so
like that.
many
This one's got
things.
cities and stuff you can
Are
go into.
starving.
More people, more mouths to feed.
They treat us like animals, left to suffocate. We need a place to work.
Who else will feed our families?
And this whole new UI
Steward.
system,
Smaller.
that looks amazing.
Where are the homes you've promised?
Can we all receive equal rations?
Hospitals are not a place for experiments. Free education for our children.
Secure and stable growth.
For the citizens,
Steward, hear your people.
we want a say in how we run the city.
The time of tyranny has ended.
Our delegates will make sure of that.
See, with like different things will pop up, and then you have to do different things, and it determines the outcome of like the people that you're trying to save.
Let them vote.
Yes,
That's interesting.
Steward,
Do you hear us?
Steward.
Steward, what about us?
What? Impossible.
Rejected.
Steward, did you hear that? The city was not.
So the first one, it's going to be like this one. So the first one was basically you're building these buildings around a generator, and you're collecting coal, you're collecting wood, gold, all this stuff, and all the meantime you're sending out scouts to scout different encampments and stuff like that to try and find more survivors, so you get more survivors to work in your buildings that you have going on. You got to maintain that generator and keep it running. And so it's kind of like a Sims simulation, just trying to survive the winter and stuff like that. They got different game modes. Your resources are spread out farther away if you want to go hard in like a hard mode and stuff like that. So this one's going to actually be pretty cool because the whole UI, the interface and everything like that is it looks a lot better, a lot cleaner. So I'm excited for this one. So
I mean, it's incredible to see something like that where we've come from to see, you know, the perfect example that, like you said before, is Sims. You look at the first Sims that came out back in like what, the 90s, building your little thing and putting like Godzilla, and you could put the lava and, you know, blow up your town and all that stuff. Look at Sims now. You're putting the furniture in the house and, you know, making sure that nobody drowns in the hot tub.
Oh God, yeah. And see, I've never played. Dan from Wayne County Imaging messaged or mentioned Diablo. So there's like Diablo, Warcraft, stuff like that. Like I've never gotten into games like that. I've never played it because I'm not a PC
Diablo
gamer.
4 is a huge one. It's a huge series. It's like people rally over that one with it's up there with Elden Ring. When Baldur's Gate 3 came out, Diablo 4, these are like that top down kind of games, but it's very maneuverable. You're fighting and stuff like that, but Diablo 4 is a really good game, and they came out on Xbox Game Pass, so you can get it on there for free if you have Game Pass. But yeah, Diablo 4 was huge. That release was massive.
So if I'm gonna try a game like that, what's a good one to get into? What's for a first timer, something like that? Top
Any of the
down.
Diablos are great to get into.
Yeah.
Baldur's Gate 3 is kind of like that, but Baldur's Gate 3 is kind of more turn-based. So you're kind of waiting your turn. Diablo 4, you're able to move freely. You get a horse. So it's I don't know, top-down Elden Ring, kind of.
So like I could probably pull something like that off here on this PC. This PC, it's an old ass gaming PC. It could probably handle a little bit, not a lot. But is there anything similar on a
Diablo
PlayStation?
2, Diablo 3, you'd be fine.
Yeah. I kind of want to try something like that. So maybe I'll try that one of these days.
Yeah.
There's a lot that I want to get into. Like there's a lot of games I want to try out. My biggest problem right now is trying to find the time, between working 10-hour days and trying to do the podcast and all this extra stuff.
I saw some good ones in chat. People were saying Splinter Cell. That was a fun game.
Yeah, that was an Xbox exclusive, was it not? If I recall correctly, I think Splinter Cell was on Xbox.
I think so. That's a Tom Clancy game, isn't it?
Yes,
that was on place. Was it PS2 too?
Was it? I don't remember it being on PlayStation. Oh, Myst. I forgot about Myst.
I have some old copy of Electronic Gaming Monthly from back in the day, and I remember him being on the cover. And I think he started on the Xbox, but like out first on the Xbox, they went to PlayStation eventually.
Yeah. Alex.
Originally released on Xbox in 2002, and then it was ported into. Man, there's a fly around here. It's gonna drive me crazy. They ported it to Microsoft Windows, PlayStation 2, GameCube, and Mac, and 2 year later. So
I thought that was the case with it. Yeah.
Myst. I heard Myst was a very popular one too. That's not one I ever tried. I never tried a lot of these.
Yeah,
Did you really?
Talking about this, Lisa? We were talking about the Shadows of the Earth Tree, the DLC that just came out yesterday.
Ooh.
Well, for those people that played console, it came out for yesterday. For me, on the PC, it came out 6 p.m. the night before, so I was playing it a little bit before everybody on the consoles.
Yeah, Dan, Myst was an old one, wasn't it? Wasn't that like the early Apple, like on the Apple games? Oh yeah,
it came free with my gateway.
Did it really?
Yes.
Listen, there are some games that I had on some of my old PCs that like I can't even remember the names of, but I played them religiously. I played them all the time.
We're gonna have to set you up with a Steam account.
I do
There's
have
a good one called so Northgard is a good one. I actually play that quite a bit. Yeah.
There's always tried and true Command and Conquer. That's back in the day.
For sure.
Command and Conquer.
Red Alert 3.
You guys, both of you and anybody in chat, if you have game suggestions, send them to me. If you have me on Facebook, send them to me there. If you don't have me on Facebook, Corey at ndtpodcast.com. Send them to me there. Jared, now you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I know we've discussed this before about a couple of different ideas we have for this show moving forward. We do want to bring on gamers. We want to bring on streamers, anybody that has something to talk about in the world of gaming in general. And one thing that we had discussed was possibly getting some clips from some viewers to use for the channel. So if you have a game that you're passionate about, you want us to cover it, you want to discuss it,
you want to come on the show and talk. Yeah.
And even if you don't want to come on, if you don't want to come on and talk, feel free to send us a clip. You can send it to our podcast account on Facebook. You can send it again to Corey at ndtpodcast.com. We would love to utilize your gaming clips, give you guys credit for this so that we can share. Because honestly, guys, there are so many games in this world. I'm clearly not going to get to all of them. Jared's not going to get to all of them. Mike, you might have gotten to all of them. I mean, that is your business.
I'm trying, man. I'm trying.
So King was talking about Dark Souls types games. I know we touched on it a little bit, but yeah, Dark Souls games was those From Software games that we were talking about. Dark Souls is good. Bloodborne.
Yeah.
So Bloodborne was a great one. It's
Rocket League.
I'm not saying Rust. What is it like a gothic style Elden Ring? Yeah,
steampunkish. It was steampunkish to be one of like that Victorian gritty old world. That's where that came with.
Yeah. And I'm gonna try some Dark Souls. I kind of want to try Sekiro. I haven't tried that one yet. And what the fuck was the other one like that? What was the name of the other one that was kind of samurai like that's supposed to be extremely hard? I know there was Sekiro, but there was another one.
Yeah, this one's good. King.
I can't remember what the fuck it was called.
Remnant too. King and then my brother Jeff there, they both play Rocket League. You ever try Rocket League out?
Dude, that game I downloaded at one point and I played it and I got hooked and I played it nonstop. And I can't believe how much I played it. I can't believe how much I enjoyed that stupid game.
I can't keep up with these two. Like I used to play with King and I used to play with my brother. Those two play like they're so good. I don't know how you can sit there and calculate moves and
the flying and all that shit.
I just drive around and want to hit the ball. And if I score, I score. That's basically how I play that.
Dude, here's my thing, man. Like I used to be really good at video games when I was a kid and I had my NES. I beat every single cartridge I ever got for that game. I had beaten every game. I'm lying. There's one game I never beat. And if anybody can find this game for me and get it to me somehow, it's called Werewolf. I still have an NES. I can still play it.
Werewolf on
It's
NES.
got a yellow cover. Awesome game. I never beat it. But like I used to be so good at it. Now, the way I explain it is, man, I'm an old man now. My coordination's not the same. I cannot do it the way I used to. Like I feel like I'm just getting worse and worse as time progresses. But I still have fun with it, man. Rocket League was fun. Apex was fun for a time. Maybe I just need to get back into it. But last time I played, I got absolutely smoked. And like I just don't have the time to put into it to practice like these other kids do, man. Like these people are playing games for hours upon hours a day. Do you ever see the memes of the people who are like, I just want to come home from work and get to play my game for an hour or two and not have to worry about it. But instead, come home and you got like an hour of an update and then you get on and some little 10-year-old fucking Timmy smoked your ass while you're trying to play a fucking first-person shooter.
I haven't seen the sun in years.
Like, goddamn, man.
Yeah, no, I did. I played solos on Apex once, and I swear the kid was like 5 years old, but he clutched. I mean, the kid was just absolutely crazy good. I'm like, how old is this kid?
Ronin is the name of the other one that just came out. That's the one I want to try.
I kept wanting to say Way of the Samurai, but I'm like, that was like PlayStation 3. That was like way back when.
Yeah, Ronin is one that just came out, and I really wanted to try that one. That looked really cool. So Sekiro and Ronin are two that I really want to get to.
Yeah, there's a lot of good games here in chat that people were talking about.
And that's why I played single player.
Yes, I'm so much happier when I play single player games anymore. Like I don't know if I can even do Apex anymore. I just like I can stand firing talents. Yeah. Oh my god.
It's a peaceful life.
I have a Plague Tale. I put it in my library when it was on the PlayStation Plus or whatever. It was one of the free games. I put it in my library. I have not downloaded it yet. But I had watched someone play it one day for like 20 or 30 minutes on Twitch. I was checking it out, and I'm like, this looks pretty interesting. So I'm going to have to give that one a go, too.
Oh, well, story too. Yeah.
So going to playing part 2 right now. Nice. Yeah, I did hear there was a second one out. Lords of the Fallen just dropped as well and is very Elden Ring-like too.
I heard that was going to be good, so I need to play that. I've seen people try it out.
Like I said, that's become the gold standard now for what you have to beat is Elden Ring. And remember, Elden Ring came out, and so did like Dark Souls come out at really a time where it was like that. Everybody kind of knocks EA for buying half of a game and then charging you $70 for the other half of the game, and then $30 for skins, and then $50 later for the DLC. This gave you the whole game. And that was something they kind of bragged about. And I said, it's becoming a dark day in gaming when you have to brag here. You're buying the whole game.
Can we move to that topic a little bit, guys? We're going to be all over the place tonight, and I know we're getting almost to that hour mark, so we're going to be winding down here soon. But can we talk about that? How everything nowadays has become, well, first off, we're moving towards a digital age. We'll cover that second. But what I want to cover first is the fact that a lot of these new games that are coming out are these pay to play games. You buy the game, then like you said, you buy skins, you buy extra content, you buy this, you buy that, and they're just nickel and diming you. And what you would have normally spent $60 or $70 on, you're now spending $200-$300 on. Like, this is the new way of the world, or what?
Yeah.
Yeah, it sucks. And gaming, what's now, like $70-$80 a game now? What was Final Fantasy Part 2?
Yeah,
and
$70.
I said when Final Fantasy, that remaster came out, and there was Part 1 coming out, I said they're going to milk this game.
Yep.
And they are going to make 80 DLC contents and Part 3s and Part 5s, and they're making 3 parts of it. I'm like, and it's not even turning out to be that good of a game. And people are getting kind of like pissed about that.
See, I still had, and maybe it's the nostalgic part. Maybe that's the part that I'm, that's me really enjoying it. Like, when they first announced it coming out, I was super excited. I'm like, oh, this is cool. And you know what? Since it's PS4, PS5 now, they should be able to fit everything onto one disc. They should fit the whole game on there. And when I first found out that the first game was just the Midgar portion, I was like, you gotta be shitting me. I was like, they're going to make 3 full games out of this. I know it. They're going to do 3 games, like the 3 original discs.
That's 100% what they did.
I have not even finished the remake. It took me almost 4 or 5 years to actually start the remake. Like, I went and bought a PS5 just to play it.
It's so nice because of the nostalgia. Like, because back then, the graphics, when you played it on the PlayStation 1, like, imagine what we were used to. We were used to Nintendo, SNES. We were used to Sega Genesis. And then this comes out, and yeah, it's, the polygon type shit, but it's 3D, and the movie scenes, the cut scenes, they were pretty top notch for what it was back then. We're like,
that was top notch.
Yeah. We were like, oh, this is really fucking cool. So now we're getting that game with the CG nowadays, and we're like, this is going to be fucking phenomenal. We have to get this. We have to play this. And it's just reliving our childhood. Like, because Sephiroth is one of those villains. He's one of those characters that you hear the music and you just get the chills. You're like, oh, I fucking love it. And it just brings you back to childhood.
Mm-hmm.
Like when you were so carefree and there wasn't all this division in the world. You didn't care about this shit. It was just you, your friends, your games, and your fucking snacks. And that was it, man. That was it. So yeah, they're gonna make money off of it just because of the nostalgia.
The iconic golden saucer. Like, when you saw that in the second part, the trailers and stuff like that, you knew, okay, so there's gonna be somewhat more of an open feel to it. But
it's don't worry, you'll buy it. We'll cut it up in the fifths. You'll buy it. Don't worry, you'll buy it.
Yeah.
So here,
I just beat part 2. I don't know what the hell's going on.
Yes,
I don't want to spoil it. I'm gonna drop spoilers.
Yeah, we won't spoil it for Jared, but yes, it's a little bit confusing. The whole ending of that second one, Mike, like, had me rolling, because I can't, because it's gonna be a spoiler.
Yeah,
it's gonna.
I still play Ages of Empire King.
But my God, I expected something very different, Mike.
I feel like a parent telling his kid, I expect better from you. And this is what you gave me.
Here's the other thing. And, Jared and I, when we talked about getting this show up and running, we were like, we really want to discuss Final Fantasy VII in the first episode, because that was the big topic at that point in time. The second part was coming out. And it's just like, I had all this I wanted to talk about, and I'm trying to hold back a little bit, but God damn it, man. The first one was true open world. Like, yes, you had a story you had to follow, you had to go to certain places, but when you got out of the towns, you could go and do whatever you wanted. You could pass the time however you wanted, but if you wanted to progress the story, you had to hit this spot and then hit that spot. In the new one, I feel like it's not as open world as it should be.
What, you don't want to put any more radio towers up?
It's like still super fucking linear. It's like
You're not.
more
You're not.
linear.
I haven't played it, but so you're not going to get a buggy to get to this point, and then you have to go get a plane to get to this point, and then you have to go get.
You do, but you don't. You do, but you
Okay.
don't. It's a little different, and it's a
Yeah.
little. You got to get to it. You got to
I
get to
will.
it so we could really talk about it because it's not as open world as the original,
Yeah.
and it pissed me off.
Speaking of
I
those
wish the
Polygon
bitch.
games, there was one that my brother sent in chat. There was a game on PlayStation called Clock Tower, and it was pretty much it was linear. Turn it down a little bit.
Oh, that takes me back.
But it was pretty much this game where you had to escape this guy, and this game scared the ever living shit out of me when I was a child. Like playing this game, trying to escape. You're trying to go down a hall to get away from the guy that's running at you with scissors, and that's all it was. It's just that guy, and but you would try to find hiding spots.
Okay, so
and then he would find you, but it was just this linear 2D, like just a weird game.
So let's get more into this on another episode too. I'll just mention it briefly here, but how much a proper soundtrack can affect a game.
Yeah,
It's everything. It's
Like that.
absolutely
That game right there. Like it wasn't like a choir. It wasn't like super fantastic music, but it was the psychological effect of it.
Yeah,
Like
it
they
made you
really
like, oh,
played
shit.
to the psychology. It was those repetitive sounds, those sharp sounds. Like it told you, yo, you better be scared. You better run. Like it's
It'll be
just
good. Yeah.
everything.
We can get into a nostalgia episode. We can
100%.
do retro games and
Oh my god.
or what today's
you're right.
generation calls retro games because it seems like we're old. So
But that's where it was at though. Like once you're out of lives, you got to start from the beginning. It wasn't easy. But yeah, let's we'll do an episode on retro games. We'll do an episode on obscure games because I would love to hear different obscure games from you guys, the viewers, and everything else. Because I've got one that I'm pretty sure nobody has played before. That I would love to see if anybody knows about, and I'll mention that one here. You guys can tell me in chat.
Ken did have an amazing soundtrack.
Oh yes, it does. Oh my god, I love.
I'll tell you
That's one of my favorites.
a recent game that has one of my favorite soundtracks is Death Stranding. You ever hear of that one? It's the one that has Norman Reedus.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's what you showed me
Soundtrack
when I was
on
down there with
that.
you.
That's a Kojima game.
Yeah. Yep.
But anybody in chat or you two, tell me if you've ever heard the game Dudes with Attitude for NES.
Man,
I had a
my
lot of
browsing
old
history is already
obscure
messed
shit.
up, man. I don't know. Dudes with attitude.
It was like a puzzle game. It wasn't even anything fancy, but like I remember it was a video store in Carbondale burned down. My uncle worked for a construction company. They cleaned it up, and there were a shit ton of NES and Sega Genesis games that weren't affected by the fire. And I got like an entire box of video games. He's like, here, see if any of these work. And a shit ton of them worked. Yeah, that's the one. That fucking game. So ridiculous. Holy shit.
Wow. Okay.
Prostate exam.
What?
Yes.
What kind of game? Okay, so it's like a ping pong tennis.
It's like a
Is that all
puzzle
this
game.
is? Like a puzzle game?
Yep, it's a puzzle game. Now, why it was called Dudes with Attitude, I'll never fucking know, bro. Never. I didn't understand. Never understood that game. But I loved it. I played it all the fucking time as a kid. Oh my god. All right, we'll get to some of that stuff at some point in time. Do we have anything that we want to promote or announce? Actually, you know what? We do. Because next Saturday is our NDT Day at the Ballpark, guys. If you go to our Facebook page, you can get the tickets there. It's on a pinned post at the top of the page, $13 instead of $19. Aaron is singing the national anthem. It is the office day at the ballpark. Stanley from the office will be there. First 2,500 people through the door. You get yourself a Stanley bobblehead. Pretty damn cool. But yeah, you come hang out with us. Have a good time. We've got 2 sections reserved. When you go to buy your tickets, you could pick your seats. You can see who's sitting where. Aaron is in section 13. I'm in section 14. I don't really remember where everyone else picked, but yeah, man, it's gonna be a good time next week.
Tick-tock, motherfucker.
We're running out of time because Monday night we are going to do a live drawing with Mike Harvey from Scranton Wilkes-Barre Rail Riders. He is going to help us pick the winner that gets to throw out the very first pitch of the ball game. Very cool thing. Make sure you tune in for that. Make sure you get on that. Anything else? Yo, Lee said you remember that. No shit. Anything else, Jared? Anything else you got?
Yeah. Till next time. I've got to put some things together because there are some certain things that Twitch requires me to do before I play sponsor ads. So I wanted to play Mike's ad here, but I've got to do some things with Twitch first.
Really? Because we've been doing that on here for a while, didn't we?
You've got to hit a button that says you're putting branded content on the stream.
We've been doing this for a while and having
I know.
shut down.
We've got to I've got to put that little disclaimer on the stream. So,
but yes, guys, below us here, Mike is the owner of Dragon's Den Gaming, which is a proud sponsor of the NDT podcast. He is located on Main Street in Honesdale. Make sure you go check out his store for all of your games and hobby needs. He will, in fact, be getting back into selling video games, hard copies, retro shit. You will love it. Make sure you get in there anytime soon to check out his inventory. Anything else you want to promote, Mike?
No, you pretty much got it.
Yeah. All right, guys. So we will announce how often we're going to be doing this. Maybe we make it an every Friday thing. Maybe we do it bi-weekly. We will keep you guys updated on what we're going to do with this. So just be on the lookout. Make sure you're following us over on Facebook. That is our most active platform. We are on a bunch of other sites as well. Go check us out over on TikTok at NDT Podcast. We got a bunch of stuff going on over there. We're constantly trying to get new content out over there as well. So until next time, everybody, we will see you all later. I think
Pleasure.
Later.
Thanks for having me on.
Yep.